Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Today I've got this really cute treat box for you. It is good reason for me to give you a sneak peek at the upcoming Taco Fiesta Stamp-A-Stack. So starting on May 1st at kitchentablestamper.com, we'll have a Stamp-A-Stack class series. There will be optional class packets in the Kitchen Table Stamper store on Monday, May 1st also. The Stamp-A-Stack is Taco Fiesta, and it will make these cards. All right, so it makes 3 Holy Guacamole, It's Your Birthday, makes 2 Nacho Average Friend, and makes 2 Long Time No Taco. So to show you that and tell you about that, I thought, let's make a project that coordinates, right? So this is our box for today. It's a 2468 box, and it fits this Pearson's Salted Nut Roast Cinnamon Churro flavor. I found these at the Dollar Tree, and I can't wait to try it. I haven't tried it yet, and to make the videos first. That's my reward. But who can resist a churro snack with Taco Fiesta stamp set? All right, let's get started. We're gonna start with Melon Mambo cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11. We're gonna pop it into the Simply Scored tool, and we're gonna start on the 8.5 inch side, and we're gonna score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. That's why it's a 2468 box, and you can make this any height depending on what you cut the other dimension of your paper, or don't cut your paper. So now we're gonna go to the 11 inch side, and we're gonna score at 2 and 10.25. Now we're gonna work the scores with a bone folder and trim according to the template. All right, so here's our template, and we're going to have a little Velcro tab closure for the back. So the fun part about these 2468 boxes is you could put a lid on it. You could just pinch top and tie it. You can pinch top and clip it. You can do a tab close like we're gonna do here today. You can make them taller, you can make them shorter. It's just a really fun category. It's a whole category of treat boxes. If you know the 2468 box, you can make a treat box for lots and lots of different things and make them all look different and unique. All right, so we've got our score lines worked with the bone folder. Let's trim. We're gonna start in this bottom right corner with this long skinny rectangle, and we're gonna cut it out entirely and bevel the long skinny glue tab. Same here, bevel cut, make an angle, and then cut out this little rectangle. Now what we want is the tab to fold to the back. So for this one, we're gonna make our tab here. If you made your tab here, it would fold to the front. So again, another option depending which 3/4 inch segment you leave. All right, so we're gonna cut out these 2 long rectangles, and then we're gonna leave a long rectangle. And then we're gonna cut out the 4th rectangle. For the bottom of the box, you just need to liberate the tabs. And I like to do, because it's a square box, square bottom, I like to do a little dart. So you just kind of take an angle and remove that scored paper. We're gonna do that for all 4 tabs. And there is our 2468 box. Let's round the tabs on, let's round the corners on the tab. I'm gonna use my handy dandy We Are chomper, and I'm gonna use the 1/4 inch side. You can use what you have. And then we'll assemble with tear and tape. Let's get some tear and tape adhesive. I'm gonna put tear and tape on the long glue tab. And then I'm gonna hold off on the bottom of the box. Let's get our designer series paper on the front and back. You can do all 4 panels if you like, but for the treat that I have here, you're gonna have a really deep, long gusset. So I just left, and I also wanted to see some of the melon mambo and kind of highlight that. So I've got 2 pieces here that are 1 3/4 by 3, and 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 6. We're going to add those to the front and the back of our box. Now when you glue the second piece, you're gonna layer it over the top, but let me show you a little detail on the back of the box. So I added this little edge detail where the seam was. Kind of looks like the back of a mariachi shirt. So leave a little bit of space where you can tuck that trim in just a minute. Position your paper so you've got an equal border all the way around. Now let's assemble the box. We can remove the liner from the adhesive tab here and fold it up. I like to fold it, kind of burnish it flat at first here. So not the first score line with the glue tab, but the second, and then the first from the other side. And you can just line that up. And then once you've got it, then you can burnish it flat. You'll get a good seam that way. Pop open the bottom of the box, and for a square box, I like to put the tear-in tape. So this is the back of our box, right? We want to keep the back from the front. We're going to fold in the side tabs, and then we're going to fold the back to the front and the front to the back. So I like to put the adhesive on the inside of the front tab, the outside of the back tab. That makes a nice equal sign when it's closed, so you get a good grip. And then the same thing on the inside tabs. The inside on one side, and the outside on the other. That's going to give you a good sturdy bottom. And with a box this big, it's important to have a sturdy bottom. You don't want, if you choose a heavier treat, because it's a larger box, you don't want your treat to come crashing out of the bottom of your box. So let's go ahead and put these together the right way. So adhesive up, adhesive down, and then same with the back of the box, adhesive up, the front of the box, adhesive down. And then you can take something like your bone folder or the take your pick tool and kind of press against your hand to make sure that that adhesive grabs. There's your box. You're going to pinch a gusset. It's going to have to be a big deep one for this treat. And then we're going to close to the back with the tab. Let's get a Velcro dot. I get these on Amazon, and I'll leave you a link. They're little 3/8 inch Velcro brand. And I did think about putting 2 dots because it's such a small flap. You know, I wasn't sure with the big box, large gusset, wasn't sure if there would be enough hold in just 1 dot, or if this gusset would want to pull it open. And the good news is these are good, strong quality dots. 1 was enough, but what I want is the clear side on the designer series paper and the more opaque, the white side on the flap. That makes the dot a little less visible. Your eye doesn't go for it quite as much, because on, burnish that down, the designer series paper side, the one that kind of pops toward you, it's clear and it doesn't obstruct the pattern. So that's the method to the madness there. We can pop our churro inside. All right, so I'm gonna fold the ends just a little bit. They're kind of loose at the end. Pop in the box. And just close up with the Velcro. And 1 dot, no problem holding it. Isn't that just so cute? Imagine all the fun things that you can put in there now. All right, let's go ahead and prepare our... All right, let's get started with our stamping and coloring. We've got our Taco Fiesta here. I just love this cute little stamp set. It's a 23-piece photopolymer stamp set. It is available from the current annual catalog and carrying into the next, much to my delight. Got some white scraps here and a Stampin' Pierce mat. Always a Stampin' Pierce mat when you're dealing with photopolymer. You get a nicer impression that way. Got Memento Tuxedo black ink. And we're going to, you'll notice I've already got a chili pepper. I had extra from doing my Stamp-A-Stack. I didn't use them. So instead of doing it again today, I'm going to use the one that I had, but it's colored with Stampin' Blends. Granny Apple Green for the stem and Poppy Parade for the body of the chili. Did a burrito and an avocado and a lime. I love this little lime. And a little sombrero. I like to color my bits before I put the faces on, but you can see that you're going to have your choice of with faces or without faces, which I really like about this set. I like that you don't have to have the smiley face if you don't want to. You don't have to have the mustache face, and you can switch the faces if you do want faces. So one of the things I like about the set. All right, we're gonna get started. I've got Daffodil Delight for the hat. And I'm just gonna do a bit of light. I think I got most of my Stampin'. Let's get this on here. I still have to do the greeting, but we're gonna have a craftastrophe if I leave the ink pad open. And a little bit of shadow. And bring it together. I'm not doing a lot of blending at all on these because they're small images. We're going to keep them kind of simple. This is one of the hardest things I found about this set, was trying to find a color that represented a tortilla well. And what I came up with when all was said and done was that a light crumb cake kind of gives us a neutral color, but it's a little bit dark. So I did my tortilla with light crumb cake, and then after I gave it a good base coat, I went back over it with the color lifter and just really pushed that back and lightened that color. And what I did was push it back, let it work, and I'll keep my color lifter there in case I want to do any more. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a garden green ink. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a garden green Stampin' Blend. So what I'm using to achieve that look is dark granny apple and light and dark, if necessary, shaded spruce. And it really does come pretty close. So I'm going to do that on the sombrero here. I'm going to start with my dark granny apple, which is much more yellow than garden green, right? So we'll swipe this light shaded spruce over the top of it, which is going to get us much closer to garden green. And then from there, just to add some definition to the edge of the hat, I'll take my dark shaded spruce and just swipe a little line across the top there. And I really feel like we get pretty good close to garden green. I'm going to do the same thing for the lime rind. I'm going to go with my garden green. This is my garden green, I don't know, look-alike. So I do dark granny apple and then light shaded spruce over that. Then for the flesh of the lime, we're going to switch to granny apple alone. So we'll do a light granny fill and then just a dark shadow in the segments. I like that for the look of a lime, but I also like it for coordinating with the designer series paper that we're using. My avocado is just going to be light granny apple, and I'm going to do just a nice solid fill. And the lettuce, got some lettuce in my burrito here. light granny apple, do a little bit of dark granny apple, and then blend. And I didn't go all the way even to the edges on my lettuce. Let there be some highlights, it's okay. All right, I do want to run the color lifter over my tortilla again. So I'll take this moment to do that. This time I'm doing the smaller nib, the bullet end, and doing little circle strokes to just push that crumb cake back. It's gonna start to add almost a little bit of a texture look to your tortilla too, which is okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. The center of our avocado is soft suede. Some of these colors and blends and cardstocks in the Taco Fiesta Stampin' Stack are going to be and are only available while supplies last. Some might even be sold out. That's part of why I'm doing a Facebook Live with it today in this video today. If you're interested in following along with the Stampin' Stack, you might want to just check and see if there's any of these materials that you don't have and you want before they're gone, if they're not already gone, like the soft suede Stampin' Blends. Check out MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net and then click shop. And then from there you can check the last chance list. There are some amazing deals to be had on the last chance list, so go check it out. All right, our little avocado is done. Let's finish our sombrero. I'm using Melon Mambo for our sombrero, and I'm just gonna take the light Melon Mambo and let's do dark. I think I did dark. Let's do the dark Melon Mambo. Whether I did light or dark, this time we're doing dark. Looks like it was dark Melon Mambo. I'm not doing any blending in there, just trying to get that top row to be granny apple, spruce, decoy, garden green was hard enough. We're not going to do any blending. Our little chili pepper, same thing, stamped in memento. The flesh of the pepper is poppy parade. We just filled with light, shadowed with dark, and then the stem is granny apple. Let's cut these guys out and get them ready for the treat box. Now, unfortunately, Taco Fiesta does not have dies, so we're gonna fussy cut these little guys. Before I do, let's add some faces. Now, you can add the faces or not add the faces. That's your choice, and you can mix and match the faces. I really do like them. I know it's very whimsical. This would be just as cute if you decided that you didn't want your avocado to have a winky face, but I'm gonna do it. I like to color and then come in and stamp the faces over. Then you don't have to worry about smudging the faces. You do have to be careful about your placement because you've already colored it. So you get one shot at getting the face without ruining something that's colored. So it's your choice if you want to put the face, let it dry, and then kind of color around it. All right, get these guys cut out. When I fussy cut, I cut past the line, give myself a little white border. That is purposeful. If you give yourself a white border, then the viewer's eye is going to see the complete perfection of the artist's line when they look at your project. They're not going to notice is you're cutting a little crooked or a little choppy, a little too close, a little too far away. But if you try to get right up on that line, and sometimes you cut into it, and sometimes you cut it off, and sometimes you're really far away from it, that's gonna draw the viewer's attention. So that's why I always just leave a little white border. I also open and close the scissor with my dominant hand, but you'll notice my non-dominant hand is steering that avocado. I don't try to hack the avocado out using the scissors in my dominant hand. And get a nice smooth edge that way. The other thing, I always try to point out when I'm taking time to fussy cut is that you want to support your scissor, so your middle finger or ring finger is in the bottom loop and your index finger at least is supporting the scissor. And again, it just opens and closes for the most part. It might cooperate on angles, you know, going around corners or something, but that's it. All right, one more little guy to cut out. And the last tip I have for fussy cutting is there's no prize for cutting it out all in one piece. So you see, I cut away the excess. I got nothing to get in the way of my scissors here, nothing to hang me up. All right, there's our bits. Now, let's bring our box back in and a little bit of die cutting. So I did some die cutting ahead of time here. I've got a basic white tag and the little D reinforcer. I cut those using the TaylorMade Tags dies. This is basic white and the second from the largest, and then that little reinforcer out of Melon Mambo. I'm going to add a little bit of stamping detail on here. I've got a spatter, and I just picked up the spatter from one of the online exclusive stamp sets. This is the Irresistible Bloom stamp set. I like this little spatter. I've been using that one a lot. So we're gonna add a little speckle to the back of our tag and give it some personality. I've got Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm just gonna stamp so that it goes up from the bottom here and then down from the top on the opposite side. And I've also got a little 1/2 inch by 2.5 inch basic white scrap. Let's go ahead and stamp our greeting while we've got the ink pad out. We're just going to center that right in this scrap. Not bad. I didn't bring my Stampin' Pierce mat back, so I was a little concerned. Let me clean the ink off of this stamp. Let it dry for a second because we're going to add a little bit of excitement to our greeting. We're going to layer it up in 2 different colors. Got those scraps still here. And Poppy Parade ink. Let's stamp our greeting one more time in Poppy Parade. And we'll give that a minute to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to grab another 2 3/4 or so, maybe 3 inches by 1/2 inch designer series paper. Yep, this is 1/2 by 3 inches, and I'm just gonna use my retired tailored tag punch to cut little dovetails in the banner here. You can use your scissors or a square punch and just nip off the edge and make some little dovetail banners. Same with this guy. Pretty cute. Let's get some glue and let's glue this little de-enforcer on before I lose it. And the banners too. Put those on flat. A little bit of glue goes a long way. If you get too much, then just share the glue. That's going to get glued down flat too. And now we've got no mess. And the glue didn't go to waste all over your project. I'm going to add a little bit of glue along the bottom of the tag. And put the designer series paper. I've got some fun angles. I think it's just cute. Keep the glue on the center of your banners because they're wider than the tag. Layer them up. Haha, so cute. Now my pepper and my avocado are going to go on flat, but they extend past the edge of the tag too, so watch your glue placement. Haha, I think they're so cute. How the little sombrero. Again, watch your glue placement because that's going to go past the edge of the tag. Isn't she cute with a sombrero? Now I need some dimensionals. I have some extra special ones here. I didn't want to go find any other ones because I'm trying to use these little edges of your dimensionals. You probably know, but just in case it hasn't occurred to you, these edges are not trash. Cut them up and use them. We're going to pop our burrito up and our lime. We're making a really cute little scene here, aren't we? And the lime probably only needs half of that. Oh, careful. My pepper might need to go up a little bit because I'm getting close to my greeting. Let's see if I can make a small adjustment. I do like the liquid glue because you get a little bit more time to adjust. Not forever, but a little bit. There we go. Cute. Now let's bring spice back in here. It's probably dry enough to handle. And we're just going to bubble cut that. Again, you want to leave enough white space around the word so that you completely cover the memento black one underneath, but not so much on the edges at the E and the S that you crowd out the black word that's underneath. All right, so generous but not too generous. And then we're going to take a little slice off the edge here and bump it up. We took the effort to fussy cut it, so let's bump it up and show that off. Cute, right? All right, not done quite yet. I'm going to move everything out and bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've got a piece of black cardstock here. It's about 1 by 6.5, and this basic borders dies. This is that cute little detail for the back of the box and down the side of our tag. So let's go ahead and cut this little detail. All right, we've got set up to die cut. 1, 2, 3, and the die right in the center here. Give it a crank. And now what we have is the perfect trim for all of our Taco Fiesta cards. See, we've got the zigzag border times 2, and we can just cut up as much or as little as we need, depending on where we're using it on the project. So let's bring the tag back in here, and we're gonna cut this little border. Now both sides are fair game. So I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these little zigzags for my tag, and I'll cut off the excess. And then I want 3 of these little zigzags for the back of my box. And now these are just as useful, so put them aside and hold on to them for your Stamp-A-Stack cards. I'm going to trim this just a little bit more narrow so we have less to tuck underneath on the back of our box. So the back of our box is with the tab. We're going to add a bit of liquid glue. Slide this guy underneath because we left a little space. We didn't leave quite that much space, just trim away a little bit more. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to make it a little bit more narrow so that it's easier to hide that edge. Isn't that just adorable? Now you don't have a raw edge on the back of your box. Let's add this one to the tag. Little liquid glue. And then line it up so that you see it peeking out here and there behind the tag and the little pepper. I like the liquid glue because you can slide it, position it where it looks best. I've got some black and white gingham ribbon. Love this stuff, especially with these fun bright colors. It's just kind of a bold pop. Let's add a big bow. And I don't tie a bow when it's something like this. I just loop up from the bottom, swoop over the top, tuck, in that space that you're holding open. Pull. Now you've got your ears up and your tails down. Perfect bow. Hold the center to adjust the size. And then we can cut it away from the spool and have no waste. And the knot is nice and flat in the center there too, which is especially good for cards if you're going to send them in the mail. All right, let's fix the angle on that side. I'm going to put this on with more of my crazy dimensionals and edges that I need to use up here. You can add the dimensionals to the tag, but keep them kind of into the center just a little bit. Oh, I almost cut dimensionals with ribbon scissors. That would be an automatic demerit in the kitchen table stamper studio. All right. Support the center. Nobody likes a saggy middle, but remember that the banners and some of the little characters are going to be wider than the box. Pop that on the box. Pretty cute, huh? There, let's bring our sample back in. Let's add a little sparkle to finish this up. Can't resist the flat adhesive back pearls. They are very flat compared to the traditional pearl gem. And they have this great iridescence that really picks up the Mango Melody and Melon Mambo. Even the green, it throws some blue. They're cool embellishment. If you haven't seen them, check them out. And I'm just going to pop a little sparkle. It's going to kind of come up from my little guys in this space on the tag like bubbles. So I'll do 3. 1 big one, 2 little ones. And there it is. You spice up my life. Isn't that cute with the cinnamon churro? All right, I got the cinnamon churro at the Dollar Tree. Velcro dots are from Amazon. I'll leave you a link in the description below. If you've got questions, email marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop Stampin' Up 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.